Well, I think we can get started. Very excited to have everyone here and to have XRHealth CEO and founder Eran here with this exciting announcement. I'd love to do a quick intro as well of Eran, and you could introduce yourself in a second. And just as a kind of recap for everybody, this is our town hall that we've announced that XRHealth has acquired Innerworld, and the Innerworld team has joined XRHealth, which is so exciting. Yeah, we're very excited to be here, and maybe I can turn it over to you, Ron, and tell a little bit more about XRHealth, and then we can open it up to the community with some questions about where we see the future of Innerworld heading.
Hi everyone. I think close to 10 years in the VR industry. This is one of the coolest things I have ever done. So, and you guys are amazing. So a little bit about me and about XRHealth. The idea was to create a specific application for whiplash patients. But over the years, I believe we are now the biggest platform for therapeutic virtual reality and augmented reality worldwide. We expanded from physical therapy to occupational therapy to pain management. And I think what we are all sharing is, and I think the clinical results also shows that VR is a very unique technology for different types of reasons, and it's very, very effective. And we, at some point, decided that the best way to enable people to use the technology is to take it to the extreme and to offer in a single headset all the different use cases that you can think of. So as part of that, we decided that we are building the biggest platform worldwide for therapeutic virtual reality and augmented reality. And for us, Innerworld was a natural combination to add the social component on top of the therapeutic elements that we are doing day in, day out. The second thing that we learned over the years is that VR is not an easy technology to incorporate in a therapeutic settings. And we took another leap of faith, and we decided that we won't just deliver the technology, but we'll also have clinician on our team, and we will be the provider that is using VR and AR as the technology. And as part of that, we have those virtual clinics where we are shipping headsets to patient home. We are operating in the US, Australia, Israel, and Europe. In the US specifically, we are in network with 100 health plans operating in 19 states, and everything is covered by the health plans, including the VR itself. And we believe now we're in a point where we can introduce this technology to a lot more people that I think are not aware of the impact that this technology can have on their lives. And just to give you some numbers, last year we treated over 50,000 patients. We completed 1 million sessions in VR. As I mentioned to Noah and Tanner over the last few weeks, I don't think there's any other organization worldwide that is doing so many VR therapeutic activity besides XRHealth. And our goal, and I think this community is an integral part of that, is to let people know this exists, that we exist, that this can help people around the world. And again, I'm very happy and proud to have Innerworld and the community as part of the XRHealth family. And I believe we'll do amazing things together. And that's basically it. I'll be happy to answer any questions. I know that you probably have a lot of those, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Oh my God. Amazing, Ron. Very grateful to have you here. And I just wanted to also share a little bit from the context of Innerworld and our team. We have Tanner, co-founder of Innerworld here. We have Natalie. We have our guides and guardians. We have Liron. I don't know, Kareem or Conrad, if they're here as well. We have a lot of folks, all our incredible coaches as well who are coming over. It's very exciting. And, I think we hosted a town hall where we were looking at the future of Innerworld and talking about its uncertainty. And, again, we've been transparent with the community, which I really value. Eran, you're very transparent as well in XR Health, and we came to the community and said, we're trying to find a viable business model to scale. And at the same time, we expanded to flat screen devices, phones, and tablets. At the same time, we just got our randomized controlled trial results back, which many people in the community have known for years that we've been working on this RCT because it's been mentioned many times just throughout the community. And that result is the first RCT that actually proves, because we randomized folks to get Innerworld on a headset. We sent headsets out versus a phone or tablet versus waiting to get nothing for folks with depression. And it proved that the VR is incredibly effective at treating depression in Innerworld. And it was a lot more effective than the flat screen. The flat screen wasn't as effective, actually. And so we were finding that out, which is so exciting. We connected with XR Health and Eran, who's figured out essentially how to not only do all the logistics of shipping headsets to people, which Natalie has done, I've done, I think several people on the team in very small amounts of shipped headsets, but have figured out how to get it covered, like Eran mentioned, by health insurance and reimbursed. I think the ultimate this acquisition and joining the XR Health team is just so exciting, because we're really going to be able to scale, and not only scale Innerworld and all the apps that XRHealth has, which is incredible, but also be able to scale people's access to VR headsets and send out headsets so that they can, wherever they are in the world, they can transport themselves into Innerworld, which, we're really, really excited about. So, yeah, that's just a little bit on kind of our journey and how we got here. Really grateful to everybody in the community. You are all what makes Innerworld, and I know that you're going to be welcoming all the XR Health patients who are coming in with open arms and supporting them. So, yeah, so maybe we can go to the hands that I see in order. So maybe Casey's journey. Do you want to go first?
Sure, thank you. I had a question. My understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is these headsets are already going to be like pre-programmed with all of like XR family apps on it, no more, no less. And so, excuse me, I guess what I'm wondering is, it's my understanding that, if somebody needs physical therapy, they'll get a headset sent to them, and then there's the physical therapy app, there's the whatever, there's Innerworld app and all that kind of stuff. So they can use the Innerworld while they have that. But I guess my question is this: if you are being prescribed, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but if you're being prescribed, say, physical therapy through using the VR system that's being sent out to you, I'm imagining that when you're done, better, all that kind of stuff, you send it back in, right? Are they just keeping it forever? And then my second question is, kind of follow up with that, is if they don't just get to keep the VR headset forever and they're done with, let's just say, physical therapy, I'm just using that as an example, they're done with the physical therapy and they send the headset back, now they're not in the Innerworld anymore. So are they still going to have to apply or sign up for it or whatever, like through their computer or their personal VR sets like normal then?
So I'll start by saying that we don't have all the answers, and part of the part of the reason I want to be as involved as possible in the Innerworld community is because I want to better understand all the different dynamics and all the different limitations before we're making any type of decisions. Medicare Part B and some of the health plans, the Medicare Advantage and the private payers, are currently covering the device as a rental device for up to 13 months. So if someone is staying within the XR Health ecosystem for 13 months, after the 13 months, the device is theirs to keep, and then they can stay as they want. If they're not completing the 13 months, they need to ship the headset back, and then they can sign up and enroll after that, after and during those 13 months. If they're completing the 13 months in the US, they are eligible to another headset 3 years after. So that's every 13 months, it's basically reset. One of the things that we are debating in order for the device to be reimbursed in the US, it have to be locked to only healthcare application and only to the XRHealth platform. So one of the dilemmas that we have, some of your, you're owning the Quest headset that you bought and Best Buy or whatever. We are trying to figure out how to provide you with access on those headsets, and again, how that fit into the XRHealth ecosystem. I don't have all the answers now, but we do have some regulatory limitations that will need to fit in. And regardless, we are planning to keep all the mobile and to the interface, open. But for those, again, we also have dilemmas how to incorporate that in a reimbursable model or not, to keep it open or not. There's multiple things that we're still trying to figure out. And again, my goal is in the next 2, 3, 4 months to figure this out together with you and to find a solution that works for everyone.
Amazing. Thank you, Ron, and thanks for the question, Casey's. Yeah, maybe we can go to Blue Stream.
Yes, I'm just curious. I'm a veteran, and I was reading on y'all's website that y'all deal with the VA. Are we going to have to go through the VA to get the headsets, or is that something that y'all are going to take care of for us? And also, I just want to clarify, are y'all also going to keep the mobile apps going?
So I'll start with the second question. Yes, the intent is to keep the mobile up and running. As Noah mentioned, we're still exploring the business model around who have access when and how. And again, if they're getting peer support, if they're getting therapeutic applications and therapeutic services, and how to fit that in. I do have good news about the VA. We are also now a certified vendor for the VA through another partner of ours, and the VA is covering the device also. So if you are a veteran and you want to get Innerworld and the XRHealth platform, you do need a prescription from your prescribing physician, and we do need an approval from the prosthetic department, but we are a certified vendor, and you can get the device through the VA as part of that package.
Yeah. Okay, Robin S., do you want to go next?
Sure, thank you. I'm happy to see this. I'm kind of a little disappointed that my Medicare Advantage program does not cover that headset, so I'm hoping that it does. One of the things that I like about Innerworld was all the portals that you could go to and sit and meditate and things like that, and explore and stuff like that. And when you did your big cutbacks a number of months ago, that really hurt my ability to use the program. Mainly because I'm a West Coast person, literally right on the Pacific Ocean, and most of the groups are based on East Coast time or overseas or whatever. So I can't get the use out of this program like I used to be able to do, because you're right in the middle of my workday. That makes it difficult, but I'm hoping that maybe this company will have a little bit of cash infusion so that you can start opening up your program more again, so we can do something. And I'm hoping that things don't change with the headset, like there'll be a haves and have-nots. The haves have the doctor prescribed headset, and then the have-nots are just the basic people in Innerspace, or Innerworld, sorry, that can only use limited availability, and that you guys aren't going to go away soon.
So I'll first of all, we would love to work with you together to convince the Medicare Advantage plans that this is a meaningful and impactful technology. That's part of our role, and it's very beneficial if it's coming from our side and the members' side. It's not, I don't have, it will be a struggle, let's put it this way, but we are planning to spend time and effort to educate all plans that this technology is not just helpful for the patient, but at the end of the day, it's also beneficial for those health plans to participate and to cover, exactly like Medicare decided to, and the VA decided to, right? We like the fact that those two big organizations have made that decision makes our life easier, but we still need to go now a plan by plan and convince them to do that. Regarding your second comment, we will do our best to keep the platform as open as possible. But it is important to say we have to find a model that provide us the ability to serve you guys. That's what I'm trying to do. We need to have a situation and a business model that everyone are able to continue and to grow this community. But it have to be viable for everyone and affordable on the other side. So we will try over the next, again, few months to find a model that makes sense for everyone. And that's our task and our challenge. And I can promise you that I'll do the best I can to find that sweet spot that answer everyone needs.
Because we're trying to find value in these different things and figuring out value for the Innerworld community to be able to bring people into the XRHealth ecosystem, get the prescriptions on the right plans, expand what plans are possible, and then also I think part of it in my head at least is, and what Eran and I talked about in XRHealth, is that the value for someone in XRHealth who's a patient who's seeing someone once a week to come into the community, and why is that valuable, or what is valuable about that, and the value that that brings to that person is another thing to think about and things like that. So
hi, I would want to say that Innerworld has been a big help to me. I do have a personal counselor, but I do like to come and in a way it's almost like a support group, and I get a lot of support by coming through here, so it's a lifeline for me. But I had a question about the headset, is that do we have to go to our personal physician, or will you have a clinician, a doctor, that can write that prescription and then get it approved through the company? Does that make sense? And then the second question I just had was, will the price of Innerworld increase?
So regarding the second question, the answer is I don't know yet, because we are still exploring again the business model and until different structure. So that we need to see where we'll land eventually. And regarding the first question, there are states that we can prescribe, or we have nurse practitioners that are doing the intake and then again can prescribe, and we're increasing our footprint across the U.S. to be able to serve all states. And in the states that we cannot do that, we do need the patient to go and ask the prescription from their own PCP.
I'm sorry, can I ask one more quick question? What kind of diagnoses are they prescribing it for?
So anything that is a cognitive behavioral therapy related and can solve, that's a relevant indication for the headset prescription.
Okay, thank you.
great. MHawk.
With XRHealth's expertise in healthcare and clinical care, it seems programs like the one-on-ones we had recently and Inner Circle would be perfect for the combined vision. Is restarting these specific programs part of the integration roadmap? I think they'd align really well with the broader health focus.
So our goal is to use and to explore the max capabilities and technology that the team here have been developing for the last 9 years. And we were looking at the technology and the different type of solution that we have in a very holistic way. I personally believe that's, by the way, part of the peer support and part of the technology and the part of the one-on-one. I strongly believe that we are experiencing diseases, injuries, different type of situations in life in a holistic way. And we see that across the board with our patient population. That means that in some cases you'll need one-on-one, in some cases you need peer support, in some cases you need this type of app or the other type of app. And as I'm telling my clinician, my job is to turn them into super clinicians and to give them tools that they can use to the best of their ability and knowledge to achieve the best outcome for the patients. And that's exactly what we will try to do with the Innerworld technology.
I love it. I think that's really exciting. I want to add a couple questions from the chat. One is, how are prescriptions turned in once they're obtained, and does it have to be by an MD, or can it be by a psychologist? Like, do they have to go to Innerworld specifically?
So the rules of Medicare today is that they are prescribing physicians, which is basically a nurse practitioner and an MD. Those are the ones that actually can prescribe DME in the US. So that's basically the limiting factor. We are doing to do everything we can in order to make the experience seamless and less friction. That means that whoever want to sign up, all you need to do is to sign up and reach out to XRHealth. We have a full team that first will make sure and help you navigate the insurance and the payment structure and everything. Make sure that your plan is eligible, and if not, again, we're doing our best to try to convince the plan to cover. Then afterwards, if needed, to reach out to your PCP to get the prescription. Unfortunately, again, psychologists cannot prescribe it. And then following up wherever is needed, and then making sure you're getting the headsets and getting you onboarded if you don't have a headset and a tech support. We are trying to do our best to enable you to use the technology while navigating the very complex US healthcare system and to make it affordable to everyone.
JLAT.
Yeah, first, I wanted to say, I know you've already addressed the mobile app situation and that it will remain. I just wanted to stress that for me, that's really important. I can't use the VR headsets because I have a vestibular issue with my ear. And so it affects me really negatively to use the VR headsets, but I still want to be able to access all that Innerworld has to offer. A couple of questions that I have are, one, will you potentially be doing a reopening of the Commons 24/7? Also, will the look of Innerworld change? Because I've done some Googling and I've seen some of the other XR VR like screenshots, and it looks different. The avatars look different. Also, will the name Innerworld be going away? Will we be XRHealth, and will we have to re-download another application? Also, will the peer support groups, I know I'm firing off a lot of questions. Will the peer support groups be remaining as is, or will it go more heavily focused toward a clinician-led group or individual sessions? And then lastly, I wanted to know more details about what your role will be going forward, Noah.
Sure. That was a lot of questions. So, Eran, you want to take any of those, or?
Let's start with the final one. Do you want to tell them what you're
Sure.
planning to do in XRHealth?
Yes, so I've come on as XRHealth's Chief Clinical Officer. So I'm going to be fully focused on all of the clinical intervention, supporting the clinical intervention, measuring outcomes, helping with training and supervision of the clinicians, the research. So they have a ton of data and really exciting opportunities for conducting clinical research and applying for grants and things like that. And quality control and all those kinds of things. So really excited to be a part, helping with the product as well in terms of innovation and new directions that we can take clinical intervention. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. And also maybe we could just quickly have the other folks who are here, Tanner. I see Tanner, Natalie, and Conrad. If I'm missing anyone as well, let me know. Liran is here as well, who's continuing his position with XRHealth. But yeah, Tanner, you want to just go next? Will you just quickly share?
Sure. Hey, everybody who knows me for a long time knows that my title changed a lot in my time with Innerworld, depending on what Innerworld needed at the time. And I'm excited to have the role at XRHealth of kind of being over the mobile and AR usage, which really to me means how can I make the whole product work well for everyone? How can I make not just the one world work well, but how can I make your whole experience better? And how can I make it easier to get in, to bring more people in?
Very cool. Natalie?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be joining as the health coach operations manager. So I will still be working really, really closely with our amazing guides and guardians, and then helping to bring, additional health coaches to the XRHealth team and help build that program as well. So I will still have a very large presence here, which I'm really excited about, and then also helping, build the coaching program there.
Amazing. And Kara.
Yeah, hi folks. It's good to see everyone here. So on XRHealth, I'll be doing the role of T3 or Tier 3 support. So basically, I'll be keeping check on all the different apps in the environment, making sure things are running smoothly, communicating with the engineers, and hopefully we'll be assisting Tanner as well with making all your experiences smooth and as good as possible. And yeah, you'll see me around in the community as well.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you for the question, Jayla. And then I guess some of the other questions I think were about one, is anything changing with the peer support groups? And I think Eran, you've mentioned that we're still evaluating the things that are going to change versus remain the same. Any other questions that I don't.
There was one I can speak to a little. You asked about like the art style and look and feel of Innerworld compared to the look and feel of XRHealth, other products in the ecosystem. I think you can expect some changes. We haven't decided exactly what that will look like. At the same time, I think there's a lot of value in what Innerworld has. So you can expect some changes, but we would try to introduce them gradually and appropriately as we go.
Okay. The other two questions I had was regarding the commons staying open 24/7 and also the name of Innerworld changing.
So I'm not planning to change the Innerworld name. I think it's the brand is powerful, and you guys again did an amazing job. So we weren't planning to change anything. You might see some XRHealth logo here, at some point, but besides that, it will remain Innerworld. And regarding the 24/7, I don't know yet. And again, it depends on the business model and what will make sense economically also for the business. And the mobile, which one of the things that Tanner will lead is mobile. I believe that we need a continuum of care, and some people don't have headsets, and some people it's not the right time to use a headset. And our goal is to have a continuum of the mobile, web, VR, in the future, by the way, XR and MR, and throughout the continuum of the XR realm to have everything accessible for the patient and for anyone that needs our technology.
Yeah. Okay. SB78.
Yes, hello. I have a few questions. I would try to make it quick. One, the headset, I wear glasses all the time, and I don't know how VR headsets are with glasses, but would they be able to be used with glasses easily, or do I take off the glasses and use them? But I'm a VA, so I'm with the Veterans Affairs in the United States. And so the prescription issue that we were mentioning earlier, I know that with the Innerworld thing, it specifically states that it's not actual counseling. So I'm kind of confused on like how we can get a prescription to cover the VR headset if it's not actual counseling, even though, and then here's my good part about Innerworld. I think that, with all the groups, it is a lot like counseling, and it's like being able to have group therapy in the comfort of your own home, and it has helped me be more positive and help me be more productive and come out of depression and stuff easier. So I want to thank Noah and everybody for doing this Innerworld thing and extending it to veterans, because it has truly helped a lot.
So just to answer the first question, we have a lot of patients with glasses. There's another piece of plastic you need to add to provide the space for the glasses while you put the headset on, and we'll guide you through that process once you'll get the headset. So that's for the first question. Regarding the second question, it's a very good one, and I want to just clarify what the prescription is for and where Innerworld actually fit in. The prescription is for VR cognitive behavioral therapy, and your physician, the VA physician, will need to decide whether VR cognitive behavioral therapy is the right solution for you. What we are planning to do is, on top of the VR cognitive behavioral therapy application that we have, is to have the Innerworld application as part of that package inside that virtual reality headset. So you'll have both of the things, because as I mentioned, for us that goes hand in hand, and you'll need the cognitive behavioral therapy application, you'll need the peer support, and you might need a clinician to actually conduct different types of therapeutic activity. So it all comes on the same headset with all the different offering that we have to offer.
Yeah, and we're also, exploring that it might be like someone asked about this before. We've tested having one-on-one therapy sessions in, or therapist-led sessions, etc., in Innerworld as well. So it may become one of the modalities in which you actually interact with a therapist, receiving services and everything like that. I also saw a chat question real quickly that asking about the ability to, we have a community guidelines, and someone was asking about discussing spiritual or political topics in our groups, and will that change? And I think that, our guidelines are designed for the peer support groups, where they're open and folks are coming in, and we have coaches leading them. And that's not the guidelines that we've developed for peer support won't change. However, if you end up seeking, one-on-one therapy that's with a licensed therapist, where you're in that kind of one-on-one interaction, definitely there's a lot more that you can talk about with your therapist in a medical treatment setting than in a peer support platform. So some of the topics that folks, if you're finding that you're having mental health struggles related to and really want to be talking about, you can. And that's the beauty of this integration, is that it's called a stepped care model, where you have different levels of care that you can kind of step up to or step down from to get exactly what you need. So yeah, thank you for that question on the stream, and we will go to Casey's journey.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sorry, I just thought of something new. First of all, kind of go back to the VA thing. If you've already got a VR headset and you already have Innerworld on it, is there still the need to get the other VR headset? Is it not going to be available in the Oculus, Meta, whatever place to just download it ourselves? And then I guess the other thing I was kind of wanting clarification on that I'm not quite understanding is if we were to want to get a VR headset, but like if we didn't have one, I guess, we would need to ask, and I'm also with the VA, but we would need to ask somebody to write us a prescription for Innerworld or for the VR headset, because I know, like, I guess my thing is in here, the whole thing, we're not therapy. So I'm just trying to figure out how reasonable or how likely it would be if I were to go to my therapist at the VA and say, hey, I want this cool headset that has Innerworld on it. Obviously, that would be more of a conversation than that. But, are they just going to write it and then you just get it for the rest of your life? I mean, I'm just saying, it sounds like I don't know. There's still a lot of questions I have, and I know you guys are still working it out, but I'm just trying to figure out how that would even make sense. Like, I don't foresee them giving us Innerworld for the rest of our life.
Yeah, so that's actually not the case. And actually, for those specific questions, we do have pretty good answers. And by the way, I invite everyone that are here or seeing us online, call XRHealth, sign up. Our team will walk you through all those questions, even if I'm not answering all those questions now, because again, that's exactly our patient navigation team that will help you. It's because there are different questions for different insurance company and different coverage and different. But just to answer your specific question for the VA. So first of all, the XRHealth applications are FDA Class 2 applications, and they are not available on the Meta Quest consumer headset. So in order to get those, you need to have a locked version of the Meta Quest that is solely and only medical application. That's part of the regulation we need to oblige to, and that is the product. And that is the product that you will ask for your prescription provider to prescribe to you. On top of those applications that are prescription application, you will have access to Innerworld as part of that package. But what you're actually asking for your PCP, assuming or providing physicians, and they believe cognitive behavioral therapy can help you, that's one of the things that they can prescribe to you. As part of that package, you'll have peer support of Innerworld. So you're not actually getting Innerworld for life, you're getting a VR medical device, class 2, with cognitive behavioral therapy applications. And as part of that, it will be also a Innerworld open, because, again, we believe it's part of the therapeutic package that you'll need to have in order to get better. And that's basically the idea. And again, it's aligned with the VA, and that's how we are also listed within the VA. And if you need any help navigating that and what to say and what to ask and which documents to give them, our team will help you on the other side.
Their team's amazing. And they have folks who literally you can call a number. They'll, I think their number's on their website, et cetera. So like it's incredible. You'll be able to get a lot of support there. And one thing I want to just mention, because I realized that this might not be apparent to folks as I learned about this, when you receive the XRHealth headset, it has they've built their own version of an app store. So it's like when you put on the headset, you don't see anything related to Meta or anything like that. You literally see a launcher, like an app launcher that is XRHealth with all the different XRHealth apps on it. So that's kind of why like Innerworld could be one of those apps, basically. And Innerworld could exist in the Meta store for the, potentially for like the social interaction, and then also on the XRHealth platform for therapy and other kinds of things like that. So yeah, hopefully that helps to clarify a little bit. And
so if I just keep my VR that I bought, I won't have access to the what are they called, like member meetings anymore? It would just be like,
I think it's less about the member meetings, and we're still figuring out exactly what the peer support coaching side will look like, but it's more about the therapy, like seeing a therapist in Innerworld, getting mental health treatment in Innerworld, and then also accessing all these other apps that they have that are, there's mindfulness meditation apps, CBT apps that are teaching you psychoeducation that you're going through on your own. Like there's a huge amount of content that they have as part of the platform that you also can't access outside of the Innerworld. So I think it's thinking about it less like this is restricting what you have today in Innerworld, and more like it's adding a bunch of other things on top, including treatment that you could receive in Innerworld. And outside of it, like some people meet on Zoom with their providers and go into the headset while they're on Zoom and stuff. So there's lots of different things that you'll get access to basically by getting that the headset prescribed and going through that process. And yeah, and we think it'll hopefully be worth it, and you'll be able to access all of that on the kind of carefully controlled HIPAA compliant platform that's not really possible to do with a consumer version of software for the Meta headset.
And I'll just say again, the way that we and we need to do obviously some more work, because from the outside it looks like a Meta Quest, and then people would ask if it's the same Meta Quest, why it's different. It is different. It is different because the entire platform is the software, the medical software. It just run on a Meta Quest headset. And the fact that, and I believe once we'll be able to shift the mindset that a Meta Quest headset for gaming or different types of interaction that are not medical, but if you want medical, there's a full package of medical application that you can use. In my vision, in the future, maybe they will be even different type of hardware and not the same running everything, because there are different types of characteristic that are very relevant for gaming type of tools, but not relevant for medical. So we are trying to push to a medical product and a medical package, including everything, and less to be one of an application that is now currently running on an entertainment headset.
Which is very challenging, by the way. We've been that application. Like there's a lot of challenges of getting to the right people and having them learn. And this is such a better way to engage and build a relationship with each patient and support them and have a phone number they can call and like all that kind of, and guide them through the journey. So Lisa.
Yeah, hi. One, I want to say Innerworld has been absolutely life-changing for me. I came to Innerworld really at a low point, and the groups and the guides and the guardians have been absolutely life-changing. So it's been an amazing experience being able to be part of Innerworld for the 2 years or so that I've been here. I guess my question, I'm still a little confused. So let's say I have private insurance, and I don't think my private insurance would cover a headset. Will I still be able to access Innerworld as I know it right now through the MetaQuest, through Meta, or is that going away?
Nothing is going away in the near future until we'll, have a clear understanding how to facilitate the different things that you guys found very helpful, and we believe are helpful for the patient and for the community. I will just say, with a caveat to that, is that it needs to come with a business model that makes sense, right? So that's like one of the things then that we're trying to figure out here, how to find a model that works for you guys, affordable, accessible, and on our side, allows us to keep serving you. Because at the end of the day, if the business model won't work, we won't be able to keep operating, and we won't be able to get this community to the next level and to become bigger and to help more people. So we have to find a model that is, on the one hand, affordable, and on the other hand, economically viable. And that, again, it will take us time to figure this out. So in the near term, we're not planning to change anything. We will try to explore the different types of options. And what I can promise you is that we'll communicate everything clearly and transparent as possible. And if we'll make decisions, I will communicate all the rationale behind that decision, so you will understand why we made that decision. But again, those are the two things that will guide us, how to make this ecosystem and platform viable, vibrant, attract more people and more patients to know what we're all about. But on the other side, to make sure we're doing that in an economically viable way that will enable us to grow for the long term.
Thank you. And will your company work with certain insurances and try to, how does that work?
We want to work with everyone. We want to work with all. We are not the one holding it back. Like any health plan that want to work with us, we will work with them. We need you guys to help us convince them that this is an impactful and powerful tool. That's where we are getting stuck. And I think from a member point of view and from a patient point of view, it sounds a lot more genuine when I'm trying to convince them about the platform. So that's why it will need to be a joint effort here to get as many health plans realize what Medicare and the VA already realize.
Yeah, and that'll be, I think we will be able to help you help us, because I think there's a lot of people are very, very eager, I think, to advocate for Innerworld, go and XRHealth and go off and do those things. So I think we'll be able to work with Maya, our CMO, and figure out like what materials can we give you? How can we empower you to be able to go help and share what health insurance you're on and advocate and all those kinds of things. Would be great. So that's definitely a goal. And one thing I just want to note is Innerworld as it existed before was not a sustainable financial model. So like how people have known it today wasn't sustainable. And so a key part of this, and what Eran as the CEO of XRHealth has done already with XRHealth and is doing now and bringing Innerworld in, has figured out how to make things sustainable and growing things. And so we're really excited about that. And so whatever changes happen will be in that service, like you mentioned, of growing the community and growing the people who can access it. So I think like we have a huge community that may know a lot of people on specific types of healthcare plans that may people here may have relatives who are over 65 or something in the US who may be eligible for Medicare Part B, and eligible to get a headset. And how cool would that be for people here who own headsets, who have loved ones who could benefit? And by the way, they have incredible cognitive suites to help with things like mild cognitive impairment and dementia and stuff. So like there's a lot of things we could do, I think, with our community. And the more we're able to do that, the more we're able to show that the Innerworld community can help drive folks to come into XRHealth, the more central and important a component the Innerworld community will play in the growth of XR Health and everything. So like I think Eran and I both believe that that is possible, and the Innerworld team, obviously, all the years we've been working on it. So I think thinking about those ideas, if you have suggestions, like always feel free to share, because we're totally open to your feedback and thoughts about how to make that happen. Okay, we have Lucy.
Hi, just another few questions. Okay, so for the headset, for the apps that are on the headset, are there going to be any like therapeutic games on there that people use to help with their memory or to help as a distraction? I do some of that on my own, but I just didn't know if that was going to be a part of it. That's one question. The second question, I'm kind of a little bit, well, let me ask this other question. For the price of Innerworld, if we get the headset, obviously that price will go away, right? Because it'll be a part of your headset. And then the third question I'm kind of confused on is, now that Noah's not the CEO of the corporation, whose actual eyes will be on Innerworld? Like, I mean, I know that you have other titles, and Eran, you're like doing everything over the company, but will there be somebody that will be just specifically doing Innerworld? Like that's all they're doing?
So, first of all, to answer the last question, the Innerworld community will be under our clinical team, and Natalie will still leading that in the community, and that will be her main role, and it will be part of the entire clinical delivery team, which is led by our clinicians. And again, the way that we envision, this community is, it's not just a community, it's part of a bigger holistic clinical services and clinical delivery. And so that's where it will live. And Noah will still be the one on the clinical side, monitoring and make sure that everything is suitable and operational properly on the clinical side. To answer the second question, the answer is yes. If you'll get a headset and Innerworld will be included, it won't come with additional cost. It will be included. And remind me, what was the first question?
Will there be opportunity to have therapeutic games as a part of the headset? And will you have those, where can you download those from the XR Health, or will there be a store, a separate store, or is it just going to be like MetaQuest and you just go and find the games there?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, first of all, the answer is yes. You can all go to the XRHealth website under the tab platform. You'll see all our different applications. You'll see video of those and all of the things that we discussed. And we have over 200 different types of titles, and my goal is to have 500 titles by the end of next year. All of them therapeutic, all of them with the different types of regulation needed. And again, we are building the biggest and the most robust therapeutic XR platform worldwide. And as Noah mentioned, once you put the VR headset on with our own platform, it looks like a dedicated Netflix or Hulu or any type of other platform that you know. But the difference is it's only for medical and therapeutic purposes and not different other type of elements. And as I mentioned before, because of that, our applications are not just a single app on the App Store, even though we entertain the different types of options, but we found over the years that we need to use the VR as a device in a holistic way for therapeutic purposes. As I mentioned previously, in my vision, it will be different than the MetaQuest, and it won't be the same. And we also see that this is how people are using it. The people that are buying it for gaming are usually not the one needed for the other stuff. And there are different types of other elements, technology-wise, that once we are putting everything on a single platform, as Noah mentioned, HIPAA compliant, encrypted, ability to do telehealth capabilities. There's a lot of things that we can do once this is only for therapeutic purposes, which we cannot do when it's open as part of the Meta users and Meta ecosystem, which we cannot we cannot serve the patient the way that we want if we're not doing it in that way.
Fantastic. So I think the last one that we had up was Candy Apple, and then we will have to probably wrap up for now. I know we have a few more hands up, but we have, yeah, we appreciate, Eran, how long you've been able to stick around as well, and as the rest of the community. And this will not be our last town hall as well. So, and if folks have additional questions, please feel free again to call. I think the XRHealth, website that's linked in the Inner.World website is probably the best place for you to go and ask questions. There's a great team that can answer your questions and tell you more about how everything's going to work and everything. So yeah, Candy Apple, I saw you disconnected, but I know that your hand was up for like 45 minutes. So
with no insurance, I don't want to lose this app is what I'm saying. And my doctor's patient-centered. I don't know how much to pay for it. And I'm sorry, I got kicked out. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But that's okay. And again, as I mentioned, my goal is to find a model that will enable you to keep seeing and getting the benefit from this community and from this app. And I'll do the best as I can, as I mentioned multiple times across this town hall. We will do the best as we can to enable you guys to keep using it, to increase access, and it's our task to find a business model that makes sense for this.
Yeah, and Candy, if you have specific questions, just go to Inner.World and there's a link, and you can click on that and kind of reach out to the XRHealth team, and they can answer specific questions about like your doctor, your plan, ask you more questions, and kind of help you, support you there. So, yeah, well, I just want to say thank you to Eran for coming and spending all this time with us. He is a very busy man. So, XRHealth is also, just so folks know, a much, larger company, like 10 times the size or so of Innerworld in terms of all their employees and locations and all the things that Eran's doing. So thank you for coming to be here with our community. I think this shows the amount of time that Eran's spending to get to know everyone here. I think is showing the exciting dedication that XRHealth has. And thank you to our Innerworld team, which is we wouldn't be here without, and to all of you, the community, because you are what makes Innerworld special and what it is. And we are going to work to grow this community even more. So yeah, thank you everyone. And the stream will be available as well for folks to watch afterwards. So thanks everyone.
Thank you both.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.